So I turned $250 into 12K, all off of trading on one funded account using one strategy on one prop firm. And in this video, I'm going to break down step by step exactly how I managed to do this and the biggest lessons and tips I've learned from this account that I can share to you guys in order for you guys to replicate this on your own account. We're going to be going over everything I wish I knew when I first started the account. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, whatever it may be. It generally helps boost the video out there on the algorithm to other traders out there who might need help. Now, as you guys can see, this is Breakthrough Capital. This is a new prop firm which came about in the industry, and I thought that I'd try them out. And a couple months ago, I bought a 100k two-step account with these lot, and using the code Capital30, I bought this account for $250, which for my audience which are based in the UK, this is literally £190. Now, before I go into how I managed to get 5 consistent payouts on this account, securing them every single payout cycle, it's only right that I give you guys some advice on how I managed to even pass the account. Because as you guys know, with prop firm trading, if you haven't passed the account, you're not going to make any money. For those of you guys that don't know how prop firm trading works, essentially you go and buy this account, and if we go back to the homepage, you guys can see there's phase 1 and phase 2. Think of this as like level 1 or level 2 in a game. For phase 1, all you have to do is make 8%. For phase 2, you have to make 5%. Once you pass phase 1 and phase 2 without losing a total of 4% in a day or 8% overall on the account, then you get the live funded account. Anything you make on that, you get either a 90% or 100% profit split. Also, make sure you guys use code Capital30 for 30% off all evaluations with Breakthrough Capital. Now, when I first started trading, getting funded was so difficult for me. It would take me months to even get a funded account, and by the time I even got the funded account, I would have blown the account like 2 days onto trading the live account. And there were multiple reasons for this, psychological and both the way I approached the actual account. Now, passing this funded account took me literally like a week or 2 weeks, I think. Now, how I managed to cut that time frame down so much in terms of how long it used to take me to get funded back in the day compared to how long it takes me to get funded now. First things first, psychologically, I completely detached from this account. It was only 190 quid. I didn't really care if I blew the account or if I lost the money. Why? Because I understand that this is a business. If I lost the account following my rules, following my strategy, doing everything correctly, then this is a good loss. In my head, it's a business cost. Whereas if I was to lose it, completely breaking all of my rules in the book, then this would be a bad loss. Why? Because it's a gamble. Now, I understood another thing. Like, let's just do some basic maths here. We know one 100k account with these lot costs $250. Now, if we do 250 times, let's just say 6, you could blow 6 accounts and you would only lose $1,500. Now, just one of these payouts, averaging a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, would cover every single one of these losses. So deep it. You can go for 6 accounts, and let's just say you somehow managed to blow 5 accounts, which is insane. But you blow 5 accounts some miraculous way, and you manage to pass the 6th account. Just getting one payout will cover every single one of these losses. And as soon as I understood that, and I understood that the risk to reward on this investment from just simply buying this funded account was completely in my favor. First of all, you have to be a really bad trader to blow 6 accounts, but I understood that one payout would wipe away every single one of my losses. So that was a psychological shift I made in order for me to kind of go through this account without being so attached to it. I understood that if this account goes, it's not that deep. I've got another couple of accounts left to go through, and I understood that just one payout of a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio would wipe away every single one of my losses. And for those of you guys that are not in the free Discord server, you guys can see over here, my average risk to reward is probably a 1 to 3 to 1 to 5, just give or take 1 to 4. And by the way, if you guys haven't joined this free Discord server already, make sure you guys go ahead and join. It's literally completely for free. We have hosted many of giveaways in the server. It's unreal. There's so many different sections which you guys can all benefit from. Self-improvement sections, a religious section, a section dedicated to trading, whatever it may be. There's everything in there. You guys can network with some high-value people in there as well. Now, if you guys do want access to my strategy, my daily markups, resources, and if you guys want access to multiple weekly calls with me, it'll be in the top link of the description. Make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. I've got multiple students funded before. You guys can see literally right here. These students have secured payouts as well, so it's not just me eating around here. And make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Nevertheless, back to the video. Now, the second way I cut the time frame on how long it took me to pass the account was I upped my risk significantly. Now, you see, back in the day when I was trading on a prop firm, I would risk maximum 1%, and as soon as I'd get into drawdown, I'd cut my risk to 0.5 or 0.25%. Now, you guys gotta understand that once you let the probabilities play out, and if you're tampering with the risk, you're only gonna mess up your chances to survive. Let me explain. Let's just imagine that you bought a new prop firm account and you're in 3% drawdown, so you now cut your risk to 0.5%. The next trade you catch, and let's just say it's a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, this trade here will still have you in drawdown. It will only make you like 1.5%. Whereas if you were to keep your risk the exact same and not tamper with your risk, that trade will get you out of drawdown. And let's say the next trade you took, which got you to a win, that trade there could have got you into some profits, or it could have got you to potentially pass your account. But if you keep playing with your risk whenever you feel like it, or depending on the setup and the day of the week and how scared you're feeling, whatever it may be, your equity curve will be shaky. Does that make sense? So I kept my risk the same whether I was in drawdown or out of drawdown, and I upped my risk to 2%. This completely sped up the whole process for me, allowed me to pass these accounts like they were nothing. And like I said, I understood that even if I was risking high and I blew an account, if I passed one account and got one payout, it'd wipe away all of my losses and probably put me in profit. Now, the key thing I want to tell you guys is don't risk high. That sounds very hypocritical of me, but let me explain. If you don't have a proven trading strategy, first of all, you shouldn't even be trading a funded account. But if you're not profitable already and you can't trade, don't risk high on these accounts. You're just going to blow these accounts quicker than it will take you if you're risking your normal risk. But if you have a proven trading strategy and you actually know how to trade, you've been in these markets for some time now, then fair enough, risking high will only help you scale in funding. I say to my students as well, don't risk high if you're trying to get your first funded account. You're going to damage your confidence and ruin your conviction in yourself to pass these funded accounts. Why? Because you've blown like 10 accounts. I've only started to risk high because I'm trying to scale in funding. I'm trying to get more funding essentially. Now, another thing I want to emphasize to you guys is keep your risk the same. Like I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again. No matter how much drawdown you're in, you could have just being so close to blowing the account, keep your risk the same. You guys can see here, this is a 200k evaluation which I have with Breakthrough Capital, and this account got into 6% drawdown, and just one of my wins got the account so close to passing, literally 2% away from passing. But if I was in so much drawdown and I started hesitating and started thinking, oh, I'm about to blow the account, I need to cut my risk down, the next win I caught, which is over here, wouldn't have put me in so much profit on the account. Does that make sense? Again, you got to let your risk reward and the probabilities of your trading strategy play out over a long period of time. A common question which I get is, how did you handle the pressure with trading like a live funded account? And when I first got funded, there was a lot of pressure. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There was a pressure of losing the account, having to get funded all over again, etc. The reason why this time when I passed the account, there was no pressure is one main thing. You see, all the other times which I managed to pass a funded account, I thought I got lucky. Why? Because I was doing silly things on the evaluation. And actually, when you do silly things to pass an evaluation, whether after you come back and you try to rectify your wrongs and you start locking in, you trade properly and then you pass the account, cool. Naturally, because of them silly things that you've done, you've ruined your conviction. Whereas when I passed this account, I was completely following and committing to my strategy. I was letting my strategy play out. I kept my risk the same. I wasn't over trading or revenge trading, whatever it may be. But like I said, I was so focused on the process of actually following my strategy. I took a loss. I remember the first day I got the funded account, I took a loss. It was an A quality setup. It just happened to stop me out and then go flying in my direction. And I simply said to myself, when I saw that loss there, I said to myself, it's alright, I'll come back another day. And the next day I came back, I secured the payout. You got to understand that in order to have a mindset to stay consistently profitable, you have to be focused on the process. What do I mean by this? Follow your strategy. You know everything that you need to be doing, but you just don't do it. Why? You got to sit down and ask yourself, why do you keep chasing these bad quality setups? Why do you keep revenge trading? 9 out of 10 times, probably the external factors around you which are forcing you, or kind of forcing you into acting like essentially a gambler on these charts. Does that make sense? Now, this is one of the key mistakes I avoided on this account, which actually helped me secure these payouts. See, this is the one thing I done which separates me from other traders out there which can't get funded. You see, one night I sat down and I got a pen and paper and I wrote down all of the funders which I blew. So think of it like this: get a pen and paper right now. You guys can literally, I ain't got a pen and paper with me, but you guys get a pen and paper, and on the pen and paper just write, okay, cool, account 1, your first account which you ever blew. Write the biggest lesson you learned from it on how you blew the account. Cool, you over risked, you went beyond daily drawdown, whatever it may be. Go to account 2, the second account which you blew. How'd you blow that account? Cool, you over risked. Account 3, how'd you blow that account? Cool, you're taking bad quality setups, etc. And you keep going down until you've wrote out essentially all of the accounts which you blew. And you'll have all of the accounts on one side, and on the other side you'll have all of the reasons which you blew it. You see, the main common occurring theme on why you're blowing these accounts is why you're unprofitable. Now, for me personally, the mistake which I was making is over trading and revenge trading. Every time I take a loss, I'd think that I'd have to essentially right my wrongs, if that makes sense. So for example, if I took a B quality setup and that stopped me out, and now the real model's formed and this is going to hit take profit, in my head take profit, I feel like because I've done a mistake, I have to enter again to rewrite my wrongs. I have to go make my losses back, and that was a mistake I made. So I promised myself on this account, every time I hit stop loss, I'll just come back another day. It's not that deep, and that's exactly what I done. Whenever I took a loss on this account, I'll just come back another day. Whether it was a bad loss or a good loss, it doesn't matter. My point is to you guys is, trying to rewrite your wrongs will only dig you in a deeper hole 9 out of 10 times. Cool that one day you might get lucky, but over a long period of time, your aim is consistent profitability. It's not getting a one big payout and making back all of your losses and then blowing the account after. It's getting a payout and the next cycle, getting another payout. And you can only do that if you have the skill to step back after you take a loss. And like I said, that's exactly what I did. Every time I take a loss, I'd step back and I'd reevaluate and I'd come back another day. I understand that I don't have to get this payout today. I got another 10 days to my next payout cycle. That's 10 new opportunities for me to come back and make back my losses, essentially. The mistake people make is they rush getting this payout. They just want it so bad. They chase it. You got to let the payout come to you. That's all I can say. Now, a common mistake people make is they don't understand what risk management actually is. You see, risk management isn't just risking 1 or 2% per trade. That's literally 2% of risk management. There's a reason why all of the elite traders at the top, they emphasize risk management so many times. If risk management was just risking 1 or 2%, you think they'd speak about it? No. There's a bigger reason why they're speaking about it. That's because 90% of risk management is asking yourself these type of questions. If you were to go into the market and you take a loss, what are you going to do? Are you going to hop off of the session, or are you going to hop off of the day? Cool, you've taken 2 losses. What do you do now? Do you hop off? How many losses are you going to allow yourself to take? You got to sit down and ask yourself these questions and look at your trading plan and kind of kind of come to a good agreement with your trading plan and with yourself in order to give yourself an opportunity to essentially do good, but of course give your trading plan an opportunity to play out over a long period of time. Ask yourself, if you were to take 3, 4, 5 losses in a row, like starting off the week, would you call it there for a trading week? Does that make sense? When would you step back and reevaluate your trading? You see, when you enter a trade, what are you doing? You're applying risk. Risk management is also managing that trade. Why? Because risk is on the line and you have to manage that risk. When do you move your stop loss to break even? Where do you put your take profit? Do you allow yourself to trim these stop losses? You got to seriously ask yourself these questions, because if you're just that guy that comes into the markets, puts on 1% risk, and depending on how he feels, moves his stop loss, and depending on how he feels, he cashes out the trade, your emotions is dictating your equity curve, and that's not really the right side to be on. Does that make sense? Again, some more points which you guys could essentially work on. Once you've hit take profit for the day, what are you going to do? Do you still allow yourself to trade? Do you hop off? Seriously, sit down with a pen and paper and work on your trading plan. Your trading plan isn't just coming into the market and looking for X, Y, and Z, entering the trade. No, it's what you should be doing during the trade. A lot of you guys, you come to these markets and you expect to make 10k when you haven't even put 10 steps towards making that 10k. All you've done is you've just copied some next guy's trading strategy which you found online, which you don't even know if it works because you've never backtested or you've never put a step towards figuring out if it's profitable, and you blindly trade that. You take a loss, you come back another day, and you blow your accounts because you're not learning from your lessons. Seriously, sit down and actually make some steps, make a plan on how you want to achieve these goals. Does that make sense? That was the one thing I done which took me from being unprofitable to profitable. And it's also the difference between me and you. I took action. And taking action isn't just taking more trades. That's not action. When I say taking action, I mean making a plan like I just told you guys. If you guys are struggling to reach profitability or struggling with your psychology, wherever it may be, make sure you guys go ahead and check the top link out in the description. That way you guys can get access to my trading strategy, get access to live calls with me, Q&A sessions, daily outlooks, so many things which you guys can all benefit from. With that being said, I hope you guys have learned something new. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys got any video recommendations, make sure you guys leave them in the comments. Just drop something in the comments to get the algorithming. Yeah? Nevertheless, it's been your boy, FX. Take care, my people.